many of you are currently feeling stretched to the max when it comes to juggling business and life, right? And now you have to find a new area, a geographic farm. Let's talk about this today. I just had this come up in a question I was sent, and I do want to talk about it because I understand feeling pulled in all directions. The question is, how can you get ahead? And that's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Janine Sasso. I'm the owner and founder of the Hyperlocal Agent, and we specialize in geographic farming and direct mail marketing. Truly one of the best ways for you to get business is to stay hyperlocal, especially right now. So let's talk about it. This agent was actually coming to me saying, hey, I have been dragged all over the place, right? If you have a listing 45 minutes away, a showing another 45 minutes the opposite direction, how do you find time, right? Before you know it, you had 2 appointments and the entire day is gone. And that means your children have to go into camps if you have little kids at home, right? You just are not able to do as many things as somebody that stays hyperlocal. Example, I can get to installing a lockbox, to a listing appointment, to a showing, to a final walkthrough in minutes. Minutes. That is the power of really a hyper-local agent, and this is the power of you getting your time back. Now this all sounds great, right? But how do you actually get there? How do you actually reclaim your time? Because the problem number one, you have to find the time to pick the farm, right? And that's really why I thought we're going to talk about it today. There are so many agents out there that want to start to be hyperlocal, but you don't know where to start. And the first obstacle is you building in a time slot in your schedule to allow for research. Research for what neighborhoods are in demand. If you are brand new to an area and you're wondering, okay, what are all the hotspots? Talk to the agents in your office, right? Host open houses. Start talking to your managing broker. You have to have conversations with people if you're not familiar with the area to figure out where do people want to be. Then get to know the area itself, right? If you're thinking about, I would love to farm my neighborhood, start there. Evaluating the area you're looking to put your roots down is like picking the perfect farm field for farmers. You can't grow crops in farmland that's not fertile. So same here, geographic farming, you're gonna hear me draw a lot of analogies here. It's the same thing. Do your research, because if you end up spending time and effort into planting your field in unfertile soil, right? It's not going to really get you anywhere other than being broke, saying farming doesn't work, and frustrated. So let's avoid that altogether. Research is the number one thing you can spend time on. I will be honest, I was lucky enough to have fallen into my geographic farm. I lived there, it was where I was comfortable, and I just decided I'm just going to start here. So it worked out. But knowing what I know now, there's a couple things that I would now look for as it relates to a geographic farm. First up, I would love to find a more condensed area. Some of my rural agents, you guys have to drive, right? If the properties are acres and acres, it's hard. Finding a more suburban-like setting will help you condense more people into a smaller space. With that, you can then go and mail, you can set up events. There's just so much more you can do with neighborhoods. And for my city people, a neighborhood could be a building. It could be only 5 buildings since there's more condos around, right? So really think about what is your mini neighborhood composed of. The next thing I want to look at is what are the people, right? I love to target people that are currently the number one segment of home sellers, which is our baby boomers. If they've owned their house for 15, 20, 25 years, that's amazing. So I would love to see, well, what is the neighborhood made out of, right? So how do you do that? You're gonna go to eddm.usps, you're gonna go and find the mapping tool, and we're gonna go ahead and see what the census data says in terms of who is your ideal target. Are they living there? My personal benchmark, 70%. I wanna see 70% of the people that I wanna target in the area I'm considering. If I do, awesome. If I don't, I'm gonna continue doing more research. When I do all these things, it's important that you do evaluate a couple different areas, because comparing is an amazing thing you want to do here. Okay, now you have set aside time for research, you are doing the research, you're finding results. Guess what's the last step on this one? Go for it. Don't second guess yourself. Go for it. Trust that you've done the research, trust that your results are accurate, and go for the gold here, right? You need to take action. So how do you find the time? Again, for me, oftentimes it was evenings. Evening work was a big part of what I did. And if that is what you have to do to build a business, yes, you may have to skip the Netflix show, or you have to stay up a little later, right? Or get up a little earlier. I'm an evening person, so I would prefer staying up later than getting up early. But if you're a morning person, get up a little earlier, right? Start researching. I want to get ahead of my cell phone. When that thing starts buzzing, I know all hell breaks loose, right? So getting ahead of this is a big part. Also, you could just turn off your phone. That might be something that helps you stay focused, but get it done, right? Building a business requires dedication. And if you are all over the place and you're just tired about driving all over the place because it takes so much time, you need to make a change, because hoping something is going to change is not going to be the answer. So today, I hope this was helpful for you to really just carve out time, take a couple of these tips, and then go and take action. I'll see you in the next episode.